Welcome to Bear Down Ballers. I'm your host, AJ Bramlett, back for another week with my super producer, Ryan Wall. And Ryan, man, very interesting couple weeks, man, but Monday's game was pretty interesting, my man.
Yeah, let's start off with that. After being off for
Yeah,
almost 2 weeks, Arizona did not show any signs of slowing down. Had a big 16-point victory over the Washington Huskies. Former Wildcat, Terrell Brown,
yeah.
he had an amazing game, one of the best I've seen all year from a college player. 28 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and it was just incredible. But I mean, Arizona, on the other hand, I just want to get your take real quick. They had 3 guys with over 20 points. And 4 of the 5 starters were in double digits. What do you think about this victory, AJ?
I thought it was a great victory, and really, Washington's a difficult team to play. I mean, the zone that they play is really, really intricate. I thought it took them a little while to get used to that and be able to find the gaps and the scoring options throughout the game. But they were consistent with their effort. I thought that turnovers in the first half were a little bit of a problem just because they were kind of trying to get used to that zone. And I thought Ben had a heck of a game. Really, started finding easy gaps to score, throughout the game, especially in the second half. Kerr played an amazing game. I mean, without his 3-point shots, because it was close. I mean, it wasn't one of our normal blowouts that still happened right from the beginning of the game. It went up and down throughout the game. Like you said, Terrell Brown Jr. played an exceptional game. I mean, he was scoring baskets that were just, finishes that were, just great to see for the Washington side, taking the ball to the hole aggressively. Really, really was impressed with him. But it's always good to come in to the place where you played last time and have a game like that. So that was good to see. But all of our guys, played really well. And I thought Christian had a really strong game again, finishing around the basket, scoring the basketball when he needed to, playing really good defense in the second half. I thought that his defense and shot blocking really kind of changed the tide there and let us go on a run in the second half. But I think, and then Dalen Terry, I mean, two assists away from a triple double. And, he probably could have got that. He was pretty close to getting it. And just his energy and all the little things that he did really piled up into just an exceptional game for him. And we've seen that in spurts in different areas that he's done that. But I think this is the first game where he's done all of it in the same game. And so hopefully that's a game that can propel him forward. He can keep playing, at that level in all facets of the game. And his energy and emotions really, I thought were a big factor on the game as well. So it was a good victory. I mean, after not playing for so long, it's got to be hard for these guys to be practicing so much and be preparing for games, and then to have things postponed, and being able to come back and still stay focused and come out with good performances is something to say about Coach Lloyd and these guys and their ability to stay focused through turbulent times.
Yeah, you mentioned a lot of positive things. Arizona also shot, they were 48 percent from 3-point land, 12 for 25, really great. Pretty much all around offense there, but the only negative really was, and negatives in the game where they started the game slow throughout the first half, and the turnover problem that has really been consistent throughout this entire season. They had 21 turnovers in this game, and that could be probably that they haven't played, like you said, for a week and a half about. But what do you think about that overall? And do you think that's going to stay throughout the rest of the year, and it could be a big problem for this team to be a big factor in the tournament this year?
Well, I think, anytime you have that high number of turnovers, I mean, it's not a good thing. And so, they're going to have to do a better job of taking care of the ball. We're playing at such a fast rate that there's going to be some turnovers here and there, just inherently, and because we're playing so fast. And so you can deal with those. But I thought that really, like the first half when they had, a lot of those turnovers, I thought they were overpassing. You know what I mean? So there was things that were open during the zone, but guys would be open for shots, but they would overpass or pass one more time, which is a good, it's great to be unselfish, but I thought that led to some of those turnovers where guys weren't ready or weren't expecting or expected a guy to shoot. They received the pass and we turned it over, but that's just learning. They haven't really played against a zone like that, this year. And so they're going to get better at that. But Turnovers definitely. I mean, anytime you have, you want to keep that around 12, 11, 12 a game. If we can do that, we'll be in really good shape. But they were able to overcome it. And obviously, you said they shot well from 3-point land. That was one of our better shooting games of the year from 3-point land. Obviously, Kerr was a big part of that, knocking down, a majority of his threes and timely threes too for him. And Ben really shot it pretty well too the other night. So, if we can keep shooting at a high percentage there and cut down those turnovers, I mean, those are really the only two things that we can really look at, each game that says that's in a negative right now. That's so far this season. So, and maybe the rebounding a little bit. I think there's been times where we've been out rebounded by smaller teams, and not the whole game, but during stretches of the game. So, and I think I saw Tommy talking a little bit about that he challenged Dalen and Pella to go to the boards a little bit more, and they did that last game. So I think that's something that you'll see a little more consistently going forward. But overall, another good performance. We have to be happy with where the team's at right now.
Yeah, I wanted to get your take on one of Arizona's best players, actually a guy who will be on the show in just a few minutes, and that's Christian Koloko. He was 8 for 13, 22 points, 4 blocks, 10 rebounds. You could say this was maybe his best game as a Wildcat, at least probably in his top 3 at the minimum. But I just wanted to get your feeling on how he played. He had 2 games coming off 2 down performances, kind of. He didn't take he took less than 10 shots per game in those last 2, but he came out really strong just a few nights ago. So what'd you think about him?
Yeah, no, CeeLo's been great all year, and I think those games, he didn't get a bunch of shots up, but he still affected the game, on the defensive end and rebounding. This game, he was aggressive from the start. He was really posting up deep, getting good position down there, finishing, looking for the ball, asking for it, and then doing a good job. He missed a couple, easy ones in this game that he probably could have had about 30 in this game if he finished some of those easy ones. But he did everything that we needed him to do, and when he's a big presence in there and he's finishing and scoring the ball around the basket, it's hard for other teams to deal with, and it really sucks in their defense, allows us to get out open threes on the perimeter as well. And really, the thing I loved the most about him was his defense the other night. In that second half, I really thought that he really turned it up, started blocking shots, really intimidating Washington under the basket, and allowed us to get out on some fast breaks and do some things there that really helped us blow the game, open during that game. So, CeeLo's been consistent this year and really consistent with his effort, first of all. I mean, he's going out there competing at a high level every single game, whether that means he's going to score 20 or, he might not score 20, he might have 15 rebounds, or he might, block 6 shots, 7 shots. So he can do it in a variety of ways, but, I think his teammates trust him to be able to go out there and perform consistently and be one of their top players every single game. And he's continued to do that. We expect him to keep doing that the rest of the year.
Yeah, we know Arizona has, many guys that are really good players this season. Some guys like Kerr, Ben, they're good 3-point shooters. Other guys, rebounders, scorers. But who do you think, AJ, is the most valuable player if you had to pick one on this Arizona Wildcat team?
It's difficult to say, man. I don't think there's one guy. That's the good thing about the team. I don't think you could pinpoint this guy's the most valuable player. It would be easy to look at Ben and say, okay, Ben is the most valuable player. But there's a lot of guys that do, little things in different way and provide different things that the team needs to play as well as they're playing right now. And, a guy that, we talked about a little bit earlier that did that in this game is Dalen Terry. And he's kind of the engine, I think, to both sides of the ball, because he facilitates so well on the offensive end. The other night, he was more aggressive scoring. He knocked down 2 3-pointers, which if he can get that consistently going down, that's going to change his game, for the better. But his defense and the way that he just kind of facilitates everything on both ends of the floor, he's, I think, the most integral part of the team, but the most important player. I mean, I think that's shared throughout all the guys, because we've seen it this year there's guys that are consistent every game, Ben, and that go out there and score their points and do it. But you've seen guys step up in different ways when needed all throughout this year, and I think you'll continue to see that. I think Pella's getting better. I think he's coming along. I think you're going to see a lot of bigger things from him. We're still going to see a lot from Balu and Kyer. I think you'll see these guys step up in moments when we need them throughout this year in big time games, and that's going to that coming down the line. That's what we're going to see.
Yeah, there are. You can make a case for probably I would say maybe 4 out of the 5 starters, maybe not every guy to be the most valuable guy, but there's a lot of guys that add a lot to this team in so many different ways, and I think that's what makes this team really great. But if I had to choose one guy, I just
Yeah.
think it's Christian Koloko, just because of I feel like his dominant presence, and when like the last 2 games, yeah, he was good, he wasn't great, but when you see it, a phenomenal performance from him in this game just a few nights ago, I feel like he really puts the team to a different level and establishes that dominant, post performance. But AJ, the Wildcats and multiple other programs are going through some hard times with some COVID issues. Arizona themselves haven't been hit with COVID issues, but they had their game against UCLA, against USC canceled. That was supposed to take place last week, actually. And then this coming Saturday, their first rivalry game of the year at ASU in Tempe was canceled due to complications within the Arizona State program. So right now, when this releases on Thursday morning, there won't be another game for a week. I mean, how big of an impact do you just think that is to a program like Arizona for not playing for long stretches, and a lot of teams around the country too?
Yeah, it's difficult, man. Like it really is. Like it's, when you're preparing, you have that carrot at the end of the week and you're ready to play, or, and you've been preparing for an opponent doing X and O's, running scout team, all that. And then it's canceled. Like it has to take some sort of emotional effect on you. And so that's what we're seeing. Like when they've had slow starts and things like that, that could be one of the contributing factors. And it's just shaking off the rust. It's getting back into game speed, game situations. But they've done a good job of it. They've done a good job overcoming it. They've done a good job staying focused. Obviously, they like each other and like to spend time with each other off the court, so it probably provides a little bit more opportunity for them to do stuff like that. But it's tough. I mean, when you're getting into a rhythm and you're playing really well, you don't want to stop that in the middle of it. And that's happened a bunch of times this year, and it probably will continue to happen if we're being honest. I mean, that's just the world that we're living in right now is how it's going to be. And I think if you have that mindset that we're ready anytime, anywhere, and no matter what happens, like we're going to go out there and hoop, like they're going to be all right. And they've shown that they can do that, but it's still tough. It's still a tough thing to have to deal with. But everybody, like you said, everybody across the college basketball landscape is dealing with it. So the ones that can handle it better and be the most mentally tough are going to, benefit from that. And I think we have that kind of team.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to make the stronger teams and the teams that have the better relationships within the program, maybe see that through. But, Arizona may not be playing the next 10 days, but Bear Down Ballers will for sure still be here every single week. And AJ, we have a great guest on today's program. Tell us who it is.
Oh yeah, man. Like the guy that's been, the rock this year, holding down the middle, doing, everything he needs to do to provide wins for the Arizona program. The big man, CeeLo, Christian Koloko, joins us next on Bear Down Ballers.
You're good.
Before we move on to the next topic, let me tell you guys a little bit about our partners over at BetRivers Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up with BetRivers yet, now's the time, because they are offering a $250 match bonus for your first deposit. But what sets them apart is that they require just one playthrough to turn your bonus into cash money. With their new Rush Play Instant Approval, withdrawing your winnings is safer, more secure, and more reliable. With basketball season tipping off, get in on the action by going to betrivers.com today or by downloading the BetRivers iOS app. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Yes, sir. I'd like to welcome into Bear Down Ballers, the big fella, handling business this year like crazy. Big Christian Koloko. How you doing, man? How's everything?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing good, man. How was the practice today?
I mean, it was cool. It was cool. It was pretty chill practice. Nothing crazy today. So yeah.
Good, man. Well, congratulations on the win last night. It was good to have you guys back on the court, I'm sure, after a little bit of a break. Like, what was that like for you guys? I mean, it's been kind of a up and down season so far as your schedule goes. And, how are you guys dealing with that and staying focused as you've been able to be so far this year?
I mean, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard, but we're just trying to focus on the next game. Even though sometimes they said the next game is in 2 days and then it get canceled. But we're just trying to stay focused as the team, work on everything we can improve, and just be ready. You guys stay ready. You never know what's going to happen in the future. So we're just trying to stay ready.
Yeah, you guys have been doing a really good job of that so far this year. I want to kind of go back to kind of your beginning and how you started playing and everything. I know that you're a big big soccer guy growing up. I also played soccer, and I think it was a huge benefit to me, like as a big man, with footwork and coordination and everything. Can you kind of talk about that, like how that started for you and how you think that helped you or didn't help you, through your journey going into basketball?
I literally played soccer my whole life. I started playing when I was a little kid. That was the only sport we used to play back home. And then I started playing basketball just like that, just for fun. And then I started liking basketball more. I just started being more involved in basketball. And I think soccer really helped me. It really helped me with the way I move. For a big man, I think the way I can run the floor, I can move. It's pretty impressive. And I think that's a big part of because of soccer.
And how did you get introduced to the game of basketball? Like, who first got you into the game?
I have some of my uncles who used to play basketball, so I already knew they play basketball. But when I went to probably middle school back home, yeah, that's where I started playing basketball there, and then that's just how I picked up basketball. Just at the beginning, it was just for fun, like I said, just for fun. Like one time a week, it wasn't organized basketball. It was just like learning the basic. I wasn't playing any games, just playing basketball just for fun.
Right. Yeah. You've come a long way since then, man.
Yeah, definitely.
So I know that one of the probably things that helped you in your development, your experience was your Basketball Without Borders experience. Like, what was that like? Being first time there, how did that help you? Like, what did that do for you?
I think it did everything. That was the first time I was leaving my country. We went to South Africa for the Basketball Without Borders, and then I got there. I played against basically the best youth in Africa. And then when I get there, I was selected in the All-Star team for the camp, and I was kind of surprised at the beginning when I get there because the level was really different from my country. So when I get there, I just played my basketball, and I was selected in the All-Star team. And from there, I was like, oh, I kind of have a pretty potential to play basketball. So that's when I started playing basketball like really seriously, and yeah.
Yeah. Who are some of the other guys that were there? Is there some other guys that are playing in the States now that you played with during that time?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I don't really remember. But I know there's a couple of them. And then the year after that, we have the Basketball Without Border Global in LA for the All-Star break. And there was a lot of players now, and there's a bunch of them in the NBA right now, like Lucas Manich, Kylian Hayes, Sekou Doumbouya, Charles Bassi, who played for the Sixers. There's a lot of those guys there in the NBA right now. So yeah, it was pretty nice just playing against them, and yeah.
Yeah, good experience for you, I'm sure, man. A lot of good memories from that. Yeah. So I have two young sons who are coming up in the AAU basketball scene right now, and I kind of know your history and followed you, and I know you played for one of the most historic AAU teams in the Oakland Soldiers.
Yeah.
Got to play in the EYBL and on the in the Peach Jam and everything like that. Like, what was that like as far as helping you develop, and what was those experiences like for you?
It was crazy. It was really crazy because I came to the US my junior year high school. I didn't even know what AAU was. I played high school ball at Birmingham High School my junior year, and then I got recruited by the Oakland Soldiers. Like, I didn't even know what UIBL was. I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna play with them. And then I got there. We had a really good team, and UIBL was crazy. Every weekend, every session, like the other team had another 5-star big man. So basically every weekend I was guarding the 5-star big man. I think it really helped me just develop myself as a new kid in the US, every weekend playing against a top 20 in the country. So it was really tough. Like I remember one of my first games at UIB, I was guarding what's his name? He played for the Charlotte right now. Vernon Perry.
Yep.
Like, he was really big. Like, I was skinny. I was like 190 and he was like 250. I was like, oh wow. And every week it was the same thing, Another week you got in James Wiseman. It was really, I think it really helped me just develop myself. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Playing at that type of a high level quickly. Right when you got to the States, I'm sure was a shock to you at first, but helped your development, immensely, helping you get better.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, so that's hopefully my sons can follow in your shoes and be on that circuit one day, my man.
Yeah.
So let's jump into a little bit of this year's team, man. Like, the one thing that I've noticed, and this is from the beginning, even when I came, out to Coach Olson's, celebration of life, got to sit down with you a little bit, and just saw how you guys interact, is the chemistry of this team. And like, where does that come from? Like, how did you guys develop that? How has it helped you through, the trying times, like you said, with, not being able to play consistently this year? Like, how has that chemistry been developed this year?
I mean, we all love each other. Most of us were teammates last year, so we got a couple of new guys this year. But last year we have like already a good bond together. We love each other. We're always hanging out together. And this year we had a couple of new guys who came in. During the summer we're always together with them. And on the court it's just we got a bunch of unselfish guys. When we play, everybody they just want to share the ball. They don't care if they don't score to this game. They know next game they might score. So we just want to win. We just want to win. We play every game to win, and I think that's what makes this team special. We just want to win every game, and we all love each other on and off the court.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys' assist to basket made ratio is crazy. I mean, I would see the team and like when we played similar style to you guys real fast and sharing the ball and moving it around. But you guys are playing, dealing that ball out at a supremely high level, man. This year it's fun basketball to watch. I mean, one of the keys to that obviously is your play, man. And you've developed, immensely from last year to this year. Every year you progressed. And when I was there, I kind of did the same thing, made some small strides freshman to sophomore year, and then when sophomore year came around more, and then for between sophomore and junior year, really took a big jump. And I kind of see that with you. Like, what has gone into that? What do you think has caused that? Why is that happening for you this year? And kind of break that down for everybody.
I mean, it's just hard work and confidence. The new coaching staff, they came in and they just told me what I needed to work on. And during all summer we work on some new stuff. And they just trust me. Like, they want me to be confident and they want me to dominate inside, and yeah, I just have to do that every day. I know they're gonna be on me to do that every single game. So I just know every time, even if I make a mistake, like, they're gonna be on me. Like, next play, you go do what you know to do. You know how to do. So it's just a lot of confidence and a lot of hard work.
Yeah, it's showing, man. I love to see it, especially for a big fella. I mean, when you start dominating like that, since the first game, I was like, CeeLo's ready this year, man. He's putting it down. So continue success with that, man. When I was in town again for Coach O's, celebration of life, got to sit down with JT and myself a little bit. And, JT and I were roommates for 4 years, man, in Arizona. So did everything off the court, everything on the court. And I kind of see that same relationship with you and Ben, what I mean, with Ben Mather. So kind of talk about your relationship, how that helps you guys on the court. I know you both speak French, which is something, do you guys use that as well, on the court or during practices or games? Like, talk a little bit about Ben and your relationship with him.
I mean, we have a really good relationship. During his visit here, I was his host, and last year we were roommates together. And like you said, he speaks French, so we basically always together when we're in practice. Just talking, me, Ben, Umar, or Adama, we're just always hanging out together. And Ben is a special kid. He's a special kid, really talented kid, and it's just crazy because last year we were freshmen and we are just talking about everything like winning games and stuff like this, and everything is happening this year. And Ben, I don't know what to say about him because he's a special, like, you guys can all see, and he's just a great kid off the court too. So it's like he's a nice guy, and yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing his thing, man. I mean, he's playing, exceeding expectations, doing everything that we expected of him, man. It's been fun to watch. And you guys' connection is really good too. Another guy that's been balling lately and playing really well this year that was kind of, I think, surprising to people because they hadn't seen him at all is Kurst Kriisa. Like, how is he as a point guard? What does he do for the team, like, in your opinion? And, how is it playing with him?
I mean, we always knew Kurst was like that. Last year he didn't have the chance to play a lot of games. I think he played like 8 games. And he wasn't really playing point guard last year because he was playing most off the ball because we have James, who was the main point guard at the beginning of the season. We know Kurst, he's really selfish, and he's trying to look for his teammates, and also we know he can shoot the ball.
Yeah.
So every time he shoot it, I mean, we don't really care. Like, if he shoots it, we're just gonna to try to get a rebound. But we know he can make those shots, so we're never gonna get mad at him for taking a shot. And he's one of the toughest guy I play with. He's small, but like you can see it on the court. Like, even when he scores, he's gonna do something off the crowd or do stuff like that. And that's really like what bring us together. He's the energy, like he give energy giver. And during the game, man, he's always tough during the game, and yeah, it's really nice to have him as a teammate, for sure.
Yeah, I love his style of play, man. And just his attitude and energy
Yeah.
is crazy. You need a guy like that on your team, especially if you're trying to, accomplish the goals that you guys are trying to accomplish. Bring confidence to everybody, which is good to see. Another thing that I love, man, that you guys have been doing a great job, and you're really good at it too, is your big to big passing, man. Like you and Azulis, like in my opinion, are the best, passing big man tandem in the nation. And really know angles, know where you guys want the ball, find each other for easy baskets. Like, is that something that's always been there, or is that more developed this year? Like, how does that come out? Is that coming because of Tommy Lloyd's offense, or what do you think that is?
I mean, it's always been there. Azulis is a really selfish guy. He's just trying to pass the ball every time. And this year, with the way we play the new system, we have more chances to do that. And we basically work on it every day after practice with Coach Ricky, all the big men. We all work together, and he want us to play together. He want us to play together. If you have the chance to go point to post, just pass the ball to your other big men and do it. And that's what we're trying to do this year. And I think most of the games, Azulis got a mismatch on him because he's the big foreman, and most of the team play really small. So if you have if I had the opportunity to give the ball to him, or if he had the opportunity to give the ball to me, he's just going to do it. And I think he's helping us a lot.
Yeah, you guys are playing great, man. Playing really well. So, talk to me a little bit about your relationship with Coach Lloyd and what's that meant to you so far this year, and what you've liked about it, and what kind of how it's helped you expand your game, and just what you think about Coach Lloyd and what's been going on.
I mean, Coach Lloyd he's a really special guy. He's really calm, like you can see, always calm. But when he wants to be on your ass, he's gonna be on your ass. But he's a really nice guy. He's always trying to cheat. He's a teacher of the game, and he really detail oriented. He's always teaching like the little stuff. Like sometimes we might be like, oh, I don't know why he's doing it. And then when you do it the right way, you're like, oh, now I understand why he was telling me to do this way. And it's been really nice to have him like this year. He's a really different. He's different. Like you want a player to succeed, and that's something that's really important for a player confidence, is to have a coach that wants you to play at your best, and that's who Coach Lloyd is.
Yeah, I can definitely see that, man. It's instilled confidence in a lot of guys on the team, and really the whole team. Talking about that development, though, I'm sure like your goals, long-term goals are to go to the NBA, be a long-term NBA player. Are there any guys that you kind of model your game after right now, that you pick pieces of that you try to follow, or you kind of have your own style, or is there any guys that you followed growing up that you put pieces of their game into your game?
I mean, no, really, but I mean, growing up, when I started watching basketball, my favorite player was always Kevin Durant. That's why I'm watching. I went number 35, but I don't play at all like him. But I watch guys, in the NBA, I watch guys like Rudy Gobert, because with my role with this team, I watch guys like Rudy Gobert, Clint Capella. And my favorite player right now is Joel Embiid, for a big man, the way his footwork and all this stuff. So I watch a lot of Joel Embiid, and sometimes I watch some clips of Hakeem Olajuwon, just to his post work and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, all those guys are amazing. Take a lot of good things from their game. So, yeah, and I know you're busy, man. I'll let you get out of here, but I'm going to try one thing with you. It's a new segment. We haven't done this yet, okay? So it's called Either Or with Christian Koloko, okay? So what we're going to do, either or. So I'm going to ask you two things, and you're just going to say which one you prefer better, okay? So, 6 quick questions, and then I'll get you out of here, man, all right? So let's go, Drake or Meek Mill?
You said drink or weak meal?
Drake or Meek Mill?
Drake. Oh, Drake or Meek. Oh, Drake.
Okay. Steph Curry or Allen Iverson?
Steph Curry.
Okay. Shot block or dunk?
Shot block.
Okay. LeBron James or Michael Jordan?
I might go with LeBron.
LeBron? Woo!
I don't really watch Michael Jordan play, so I can't really go.
I'm gonna send you some video, man. I gotta send you something, man. All right, the last one: soccer or football?
American football?
No, football.
Soccer, football. Football. Yeah, that's
right. Right on, man. Well, hey, I appreciate your time, Christian. Hey, keep doing exactly what you're doing, man, because it's fun to see you anchoring everything this year. You guys are on a heck of a run. Keep it going. Like, as alumni, we're proud to watch you guys play, man. The way that stylish you're playing, the effort and energy has been amazing. So, congratulations. Keep it going, man. Keep working. And I'd love to have you back on sometime, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. All right, my man. See you.